Yo. Yeah, do you know what? I can already tell that this particular episode is definitely going to be a lot more banterous. I can already tell.
I hope you can remember the topic. Anyways, let's begin.
Shall I tell you?
You're definitely fucked for that because now you throw me out.
You know what? Yeah. Before we get into this properly, can you just switch your headphones around, please? Because you got the right side on your left ear, bro. That's been bugging me for a while, but honestly,
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
Just got a message. Yo ho. Wow. People can't say hello no more.
I just want to say, to Dimitri that don't think you're better than me just because you're able to highlight that my headphones are wrong.
I think I'm better than you because I put on video.
Shut up, your daddy stinking. Hey, remove this footage. Remove this footage immediately, my friend.
Time.
Remove this footage.
He's trying to remember the topic. It's just buying time.
Wait, reminiscing. What's that Judge Judy meme?
No, he's reminiscing.
All right, cool. No, but for real, big up to everyone listening today. It's a pleasure to have everyone listening once again to the Goodman Factory podcast. As always, we are always glad to be able to talk about a myriad of different things, whether it is things that are very pressing to the male community or whether or not it's just something a bit more lighthearted, but everyone can relate to in their own unique way. Once again, I'm with the Goodman team, Goodman Demeji, Goodman Manny, Goodman T. We have Goodman Malik sweating his beautiful head off there, recording for us. That's my boy.
Goodman Malik, props to you, man.
Sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter. Baby, Ben, you're back and then Digi.
What? What? Oh my God.
Daps his own one today.
Alright, listen, I'm chatting.
Too much sugar.
Too many sweets, man.
It's good.
It's a sugar rush. It's a sugar rush. I've not eaten all day. Let me live.
Still thinking about the topic though.
Yeah, well, chill, man. Why are you trying to expose my pan? What's wrong with you? Got man stuttering in that. Chill, man.
This intro has taken like 10 minutes. So much buying time. He still hasn't said the topic because he's forgotten.
Cool. Wait now. I know the topic.
Pride.
All right, cool. In regards to this particular topic, we're gonna throw it back a little bit. Like, I think it's always
to say that's what she said.
It's so bad,
but I'm better than that.
We grown.
Hey, we're on brand, fam. We did, man.
Can we start this again?
Nah,
absolutely not. This has to stay now.
Yeah, you gotta keep it.
Yeah. In terms of, obviously, like we're trying to incorporate a lot more of, we really want to interact a lot more with our listeners. And if, of course, there are any questions that you do want to ask, please don't hesitate to @Goodman Factory, or alternatively, just use the hashtag #AskTheGoodman. We will always do what we can to be able to respond and ideally bring it on. And like I said before, who knows? If you're talking about it and you feel passionate about it, then, we'll see what we can do to potentially bring you on and, throw it down with the Goodman. Today, we're going to talk about essentially... we're taking it back to childhood a little bit. Obviously, we were all young once. We all had our hopes and dreams and, I want to be this, I want to be that. How many of us, on a serious note, the dreams and what we dreamed of when we were kids or when we were younger, or in terms of what we wanted to be career-wise, how many of us are actually still on track with those dreams that we had from back then?
You know what? I remember one prayer evening. So like my family and a few other families used to gather on a Friday and would pray and sing songs and stuff. And at the end, sometimes they'd sit us down and they'd talk to us. So we're little kids, so they'll talk to us. And one time they asked us what we wanted to be when we were older. And I'm a very hands-on person. I'm very practical. So in design and technology classes, I'd always create stuff and to a very high standard. And I would get good grades in the practical side, but the theory, I'd slack a lot. So they asked me this question, and I said I wanted to be a carpenter. I'm a young kid. I just said I wanted to be a carpenter. I felt the pressure as well. Some of my cousins saying doctor, accountant, all this stuff. And I knew deep down, I knew from a young age it wasn't not me. So I said carpenter, and I looked at my mum's face. The disappointment. She said, carpenter care. Aye. I remember my dad saying, don't worry, if that's what he wants to do, if he's good with his hands, he'll do it. But my mum, the disappointment. And I knew that from that day, I had to switch it up, man.
Hey, do you know what's so funny?
Your mum cock block you.
She said, carpenter care. Oh, what is that care? You know that.
This was in a prayer meeting, right?
Yeah, so this was at the end. So like, so the adults are talking together and like in this little segregated area, it was a bit more quiet, I think one of my uncles asked us the question, and would come in one in and one out. It felt like an interview. So I dropped Carpenter and never again. But obviously, the thing is,
should have said to them Jesus was a carpenter.
Trust me.
I should have.
Trust me. That clap would have been too sweet.
You missed a great opportunity,
bro.
Yeah,
I would have got slapped, bro. Why?
Nah,
she would have.
Jesus.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Talo, Basso, come.
Are you Jesus?
Oh my goodness.
Are you Jesus?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Goodness, man.
Then I think further down the line, I wanted to be a fitness model.
What age did you think? Actually,
so fitness model came around. Okay, actually, before that, I wanted to be a football player. I wanted to play football. So I played football from a very young age, and I just found it hard. I never grasped the concept of if you do something repeatedly, you get better. Training and stuff. I just thought people were naturally good at football, and if you weren't naturally good, that was it. Then that kind of got blown out the water. I got injured, so I couldn't go pro. All them things there.
Them things they are.
Yeah, man. It
Man
happens,
said, I would have gone far, but my knee,
I'm gonna hear that in this one episode. It's tight.
Boy, you ain't. It's just the beginning. I promise you.
I would have made it as a footballer, but just this injury that I had.
oxyslaxis and them things there.
Access kidney. You know how this sports therapy is. Let me hear you talk that shit again. God, what was it?
Bro, I was in the same class with you, G.
No. We didn't do sport. Wait.
Therapy, sports therapy.
No,
Bro,
we didn't.
We did a module together, man. Forget that anyway.
Stay the injury.
Oh my days.
It's obviously you get like a lump on your knee, and it's full of is it cartilage or bone fragments, and it flares up every now and then.
I don't know what you guys.
Anyways, moving on swiftly. Then further down the line, I wanted to be a fitness model.
Yeah.
And I think this is the one that kind of put me on a track to acting. So I think from like maybe 14 years old, around that age, I wanted to be a fitness model. So I started like working out, started going gym. Nothing serious. Damn, Goodman Malik is having a little break here, just to have a little
technical
shake
issues.
around. The arms is the arms is fatigued.
Man's out here doing squats right now. I wish we had another camera. I swear.
Started going gym and all that stuff. Then when I got to uni, that's when I started pushing with the fitness modeling. So I did a few runway shows and photo shoots. But as I got into it, I kind of realized it wasn't really for me. I didn't really feel fulfilled. It didn't really feel like something that was challenging enough for me. So that's when I deviated into acting. So yeah, my dreams, what I wanted to be when I was a kid, is far from what I am now.
When did you? So at no point did you think to yourself, "I want to be an actor"?
Nah, I never had the confidence to. Never. Even modeling, like it was a dream, but I never thought that I could get into it.
I'm not gonna lie, it's mad. I've never heard someone at 14 say, "I want to be a fitness model."
I used to look at magazines. You see like Terry Crews and
Them mental health. Most guys are trying to look at Playboy XX. I know them.
You go to these boss man shops. You see the magazines spread their men's health. You see Will Smith. Back in his prime, he was in shape. Good hairline, all of that stuff. So that's what I wanted, innit?
That's what you want to do.
I'm not gonna lie, that hairline comment low-key triggered me still. But carry on, continue,
bro. I'm wearing my durag today.
Continue.
We're all in this together, bro. I'm not even ashamed of it, man.
No, I rebuke it.
Oh Lord,
that's interesting. Still, I guess for me, what did I want to do when I was younger? When I was in secondary school, so about 12, 13, I wanted to be an actor. That was what I wanted to do. I played football for my school team. Didn't really play beyond that. I played for a local football team. I loved football. I still love football, but I think I recognized from a very early age I wasn't going to become a professional football player. I didn't try and pursue that.
Just always on the bench.
God damn!
Who asked you?
That was just unprovoked.
But you know what? But you know what?
When I give my football story, you can also do the same.
Yeah, but
I can't wait.
But you know what? The funny thing is, like my experience in the football team. I was part of a football team in the school, but I wasn't always being picked. And sometimes it's based on the coach as well, because there were players that weren't great, but they were like coach's favourites. But I think from a realistic point of view, I recognise that like some of my boys were sick. And it was no surprise that they could go on to play semi-pro professional. The funny thing with me is that I think as I got older, I got better at football. But I never thought to myself, I want to become a professional football player. I would have loved to have done it. If you're going to pay me to play football, of course. But it was never necessarily a dream or an aspiration for me. One thing I loved doing when I was younger was acting. From primary school, even in secondary school, acting. So I always had acting as like the dream job, the dream role for me. And then it got to a point where maybe I was like 16, 17. It's not that I fell out of love with acting or that I had a negative experience with it. It's just that it didn't, I don't know.
Did it lose its appeal?
No, not really, because acting still, like if someone said to me now, like what's one job that you would do instead of what you're doing now?
You would still pick acting?
I'd probably be like, listen, I'd love to be an actor. I don't know what it was.
Still pursue it.
You know what? I've never completely ruled it out. Funny enough, that's how I met Demeji. 2014, I think it was.
Yeah, bruv.
2014. We were on the same set for the Tarzan movie.
Okay.
And I've done a number of films, but they were always kind of brought to my attention by friends. It was never because
you were actively looking out for it. Yeah.
So it's one of the things where it does make me think that, if I was really trying to pursue this, I could possibly do it. And then again, at church, I always got the opportunity to fulfill that desire to act. I would always take part in Christmas plays, Easter plays, and I quite like that. So I guess I never really felt the need to.
Who did you play in the Christmas plays?
Well, I've done different roles. I've played the devil. I've played
Hey!
husband.
Hey!
What an opener.
What?
I had to pray before that role as well. But yeah, listen.
And after.
I've done various. I love acting, innit? And I think that's why I love the job that I do now as a teacher, because within that, I do a lot of acting, and I can always incorporate that.
Yeah.
But I got to a point as a teenager where I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. Certainly wasn't to become a teacher, but I always knew that I wanted to do something that was going to have a positive impact on my community. At the time, I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know if it meant my community in East Ham, or if it meant the community with the network of people that I know, or the wider view of community. But I just always thought that I wanted to do something that was like for other people. And so I guess within that, it's no surprise that I love my role as a teacher, because I know that I'm having a positive impact on young people. I'm a director of a mentoring program. And again, it fulfills that desire that I had, which was to give back and to support other people within the community. So even though I didn't have like one particular thing that I wanted to do when I became a teenager, I recognized that just that desire, just that dream to be able to do something that that people can look at and say, oh, you know what, like he's building something for other people, or building a foundation, or changing something, or reforming something. I've always known that that's what I've wanted to do, and that can take shape in many different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, someone's listening to this and you're a producer and you want to get at me for some acting roles, I'm more than happy.
Oh, and me too. Yeah.
Especially Demeji, he's the actual actor in the group.
Oh, and T's here as well. But obviously, we only
So much shade.
We only know
you deserve that. You've been throwing steady shade throughout this episode, and you thought we weren't going to clock it. You thought it wasn't going to come back to you?
Man, T, it's your time now. Anyway, tell us about your football stories.
so we can all laugh.
So when I was playing for United.
Yeah, right.
I'm loading up the corn right
Up
now.
until yesterday. Those injuries. Man.
Tricky old things, isn't it?
I think for me, when I was growing up, I wanted to be loved. Go and banter that, guys.
You're a dickhead for that, because
I dare you. I've always had a vivid imagination, so I knew it was always going to be something along those lines. But then you had that bit where I wanted to be a footballer as well. But for me, I just always wanted to go against the norm. So my mum was like, yeah, you're going to be a doctor. You can't tell me what to do. You can't tell me what to do. So yeah, of course, I had that stint with football, and I broke my leg twice.
Is that the real reason?
No, for real. Actually,
Nah, you know, a big man thing.
It even affects my walk.
To be fair, most people would have gone with a knee angle. Man said his leg was kaput. So you know what?
Is it the whole leg?
The whole leg just finito. I hear it.
No, the first time I broke it, I was jumping off of a bunk bed, and my leg slipped between the metal.
Did you think you were Jeff Hardy or something? What were you
Yes,
doing?
that's who I was actually imitating. So
That was a
anyways,
big guess, but that
I'm
doesn't
done.
surprise
My leg went
me.
boom. I was just on the floor. My
Just
uncle
suspended.
ran upstairs because he was meant to be looking after us, but he wasn't. And as soon as I went to stand up, oh my God, the pain.
Yay.
But that didn't stop me from football. I still tried. I don't know when I stopped wanting to be a footballer. I think I then wanted to be a performer. So I remember, oh my gosh, in primary school, we had to do this play where we had to, not a play, sorry, a performance. And we were doing, I think it was Men in Black, one of their songs. So it was a Will Smith song. Obviously, they're going to give me the rap part. So,
Microaggressions?
yo, all I remember, my mum was there, everybody, and my mum never really, they were always busy. So I was like, oh, I got a crowd. So I'll never forget this day, just thinking, how do I make sure I stand out? So they've given us like a white t-shirt. I've only got this turtleneck from my house because my mum just was extra. So I've cut, just jaga. I've cut the sleeves. Yo, them lot are dancing, doing whatever. And I ran out. All I heard was, everybody gasped. I said, yeah, you know what, I'm going to come back again, So yeah, I wanted
Did you
to,
smash the performance though?
I killed it.
That's my boy.
Let me tell you
That's it at the end of the day.
That's
If
it.
he has justified the means, then
I mean, I got beaten when I got in.
Word. It's now my clothes you'll be using to be proper effect.
You are going to go to school on Monday with the same shirt. And Tuesday too.
Fuck me.
But I just wanted to do something with my imagination. So I would always just be improv in school, secondary school. I remember one of my favorite shows was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And I would always
Big man show.
pretend I was a vampire. I'll be into it. I said, one day I'm going to be on Buffy. So, yeah, so I knew one day I would be, I guess, an entertainer in some aspect and a performer. I just didn't know in what avenue. So
Is that what you do now, by the way?
yeah. So I did. I had a little stint in music as well, and I would always act, and I'd be acting and coming up with the storylines. I'm like, hey, this guy can act. Yeah, maybe he should. And then I think with acting, I kind of just, my boy he called me one day and was like, yo, I had a dream. I said, all right, Martin, what is it? And then he was like, he was an actor. And then from there, I just pursued it. And I that was it. I stopped everything. And I felt like rather than, because when you're young and you're kind of, jack of all trades, you're good at so many different things. So you try and do everything at the same time. I was like, no, let me just focus on this. And I've been doing that ever since.
Okay, so I just learned something new. So we've got two actors. Two actors in the room. You know what's mad, yeah? And I'm surprised Goodman Malik didn't mention this. Like, from like the age of about 12 to like probably like 20, I'd say, I was doing music. And like I was rapping that whole time.
Hey,
So-
drop a 16.
Yeah, like so the whole time I was talking about
Where the phone's at? Someone drop an
acting or
instrumental
whatever.
right now.
If any of my students are listening to this, they're gonna find those music videos that they don't need to be finding. So I'm not even
No, drop a 4-bar. Drop a 4-bar. Back to back.
I'm on it. I'm not even gonna.
This is my
not
moment.
even gonna
I'm
drop-
down.
I'm not even gonna
If you
drop
do
the
4-bar, I'll do
I'm
4-bar.
not even gonna drop the name. No. I'll swear down.
Do 4 bars, I'll do 4
Malik was
bars.
always there saying, "Listen, bro, I'll be your manager. Like, let's pattern this." And the funny thing about music here is that the only reason why I stopped rapping is because that stuff takes money, costs money.
Bro, you
Yeah, well.
And I didn't obviously have the funds to be able to keep doing studio time, to keep doing videos or whatever.
Yeah.
And so when I did get my first job after uni, I went into that job with the mindset that this was going to help fund my rap career. And I just never went back to doing music again after that. Literally. And so I think I'm one of the people, I think things happen for a reason.
Life.
Yeah,
Just life.
and things happen for a reason. The job or the field I went into was education, and it's where I've been ever since. And I think that's because that's where I was meant to be.
Yeah.
God was clearly saying to me, this rapping thing, bro, even if you're good
I
at it,
hear it, but
that's not the industry.
It's a bit
I
of
want
a
you to
sticky
be in.
one
Yeah,
still.
yeah, it's not what I called you to do.
what you mean?
So yeah, so it's funny that because actually up until my late teens, I was doing music, and I had quite a big following at the time. I'd released mixtapes at that point. I'd done music videos, YouTube, everything was out there. And literally I got into employment to fund the music thing.
And
I
just didn't look back.
And employment basically took over. Yeah. So there's no regrets. I mean, many people always ask me now, like, would you ever go back to music? you see, unlike drama, unlike acting, I just feel like the music thing, I think that industry and everything that comes with it, it's clearly not for me, especially where my mindset is now. But
Yeah.
with acting, I think it's a bit different because it's like I'd take a gig anytime and do that. But I don't think I would still do music, but obviously it wouldn't be for the sake of, it wouldn't be for the same reasons I was doing it when I was like 19, 20.
Back then, you were doing it to the aim to blow.
To blow, but I also just love to write music. I love to rap. I was doing it even in school just for assemblies. But obviously you then start to think, actually, you know what, I might be able to blow from this.
Yeah.
You start to become massively invested in it. I wouldn't do music for that same reason. I would record now just for my own pleasure. And whoever wants to listen to it, listen to it. And whatever comes from it, comes from it. So
Fair play.
But yeah.
You lot are sick. For me,
You used to be a singer as well, you know.
What? That's the singer.
chill. You didn't even let man land. Why are you such an...
I'm ready.
Goodman Malik is letting us know that Daps actually used to be a singer.
You is a whole ass snitch. Listen. No, the ends are gonna finish me now. The ends are gonna finish me now.
That's
I want you to know, Malik, from the bottom of my heart, you're a dickhead. From the bottom of my heart, you are a grade A
I
dickhead.
got sent that video.
Yeah, word.
Are you pulling it up now?
Wow.
If you try and pull it up, I'll punch you up. I swear down, I'm locking off the entire thing. I will press the end record button right now. Don't play with me.
Daps Valentino.
Play, please.
When I called you an op when I've been calling you an op from the moment you stepped into this studio. Yeah, you thought,
Yo, T, your headphones are the wrong way around as well. Just saying.
Can't pressure me.
bruv, what are you? Are you the headphone honcho or something? Like,
cannot
what's wrong
pressure
with
me.
you, bruv?
I'm gonna enjoy every time from now on.
No, I'm saying,
what's your
innit?
problem?
Saying.
Are you like headphone
Bruv,
honcho?
tell your story, G.
Get out of here.
Tell your story, fam.
Idiots. Anyway, yeah, the usual, innit? Obviously, defo wanted to do football. I was playing for a little bit up until I think 7 year, and I just knew that it wasn't really for me. Then I thought to myself, what are the things that kind of marry two things that I very much enjoy? And I very much enjoyed science, and I very much enjoyed sports. Hence why the whole thing of sports science and sports therapy kind of came into play. Yeah. Yes, Goodman Malik is right. Yes, I did used to sing. Yes.
Drop something.
Absolutely not.
Drop something.
Absolutely
sing now?
not. Do you know what? I can still hold a couple of notes, but definitely not to the point where I was before. So like when I was in college, before I actually went into uni, I was actually I was doing sciences in terms of like biology and stuff, and on the flip side, I was actually doing vocal training. Just I actually properly used to sing, but now it just doesn't.
Wait. So how comes you stopped?
To be honest with you, I'm not gonna lie. I don't really know.
Is it something that just fizzled out over time?
Do you know what the thing was? It's never. I don't think it was a case of that. I didn't. I like, for me, anyone that knows me knows how much I love music. Period. I love trap music. I love R&B. R&B has my heart differently. But with singing, I felt like it requires a certain level of dedication, and to a degree, do you know what? I kind of felt guilty. Because there were people I know at the time when I was proper singing seriously that would definitely want to be able to sing the way that I could back then. And I think to myself, I just didn't.
Got to sing.
Absolutely not, because I can't do it the way I used to. That's impossible.
Yeah.
That's impossible. And I wish I could cap and say, oh man, no.
Voice up, you know, like Trey Songz level.
I won't believe it until I hear it, to be honest.
serious.
I need to hear
Put
it.
it in the video.
Just drop something.
If you put it in this video, I promise you, I don't care how wham you are, I'm gonna punch you up. Big man thing. I don't care how wham you are, and I know your arm is about the size of my head. We'll still rack it out, bro. We'll still swing it out.
That means actually still researching the video.
He's proper researching this thing, and I know, and you know why it's so mad, and you know why it's pissing me off, because I know he's gonna go and ask to send him the video, and I'm gonna punch you up. I'm gonna punch you up. I promise you. Nah,
The day I got sent the video, I was like, who the hell is this? And he was singing his heart out in front of the camera. I'm like,
no one could believe it. Do you know why it was so funny? Do you know why it was so funny?
trying so hard not to cry.
It's the fact that you're singing your heart out.
The funny thing is that I wasn't.
I thought, that's it, yeah.
You know what? This is exactly what I was talking about in the previous episode.
Look at us. Look at us. Look at us.
Guys are opening up.
Like, I can show you the way Malik is
If you can see the
creasing
way
up
he's
right now.
dying right now, yeah.
He's actually stopped recording so
Nah,
he can laugh at that.
he's actually. Hey, come here. Nah, hey, get on this thing,
Eyes
bro.
are actually watering.
Yes. I'm like,
No, but
oh,
why
God.
was singing when we were young seen as negative?
Because it was
Because
seen
when
as
we leave
feminine.
it-
No.
singing-
Really and truly was power.
You know
No,
what
but
it
that's
is
the
about
thing.
The singing thing. It was more the singing that he was doing. It wasn't like a rap type of singing. It was like
Yeah.
Frank Ocean. Like
It was. Do you know?
and
Do you know
a lot
what?
of
Do
us,
you,
we weren't securing ourselves. So
do you know
when
what? Do you know? And
when
what's
we
so
saw
funny
it,
is
we
that
didn't
was I
understand
actually
it.
covered a Frank Ocean song. That's what's so mad.
What one?
I don't
You
remember.
will
Off the
believe
top
in
of my head.
something.
That's the one.
It's always that one.
That's the one.
If I could sing,
And
my
do you know what?
goodness,
And
I'll
do you
be
know
singing
what?
now.
Funny dude, don't get it
Yeah.
twisted, but it was like, huh?
Daps. No way.
Huh?
No
Wait,
way.
did you ever perform?
I performed a few times To be fair, I actually did. I used to sing and act. Funnily enough. So and again, just life and just certain things. So when I hit college, I was doing something called IB, International Baccalaureate, which is like 6 subjects, which is equivalent to an A level, and I was actually doing drama with that. So I was actually acting. Did a lot of different things, but then for whatever reason, our acting class, whatever, just got shut down. I couldn't even fully explain it to you. So between me finishing that and then going to, because obviously I had to take a year. I had to take a year out before I could actually go back, go into uni. This was due to me living in Niger and then coming back and them talking all manner of nonsense. And that's why I was saying that whereby I was doing a science course, but then I happened to come across friends who were in the arts. So these guys were doing acting, these guys were doing singing. So obviously with a lot of these guys, they were just thinking, oh, this is just some guy coming from science class. Then they can clock that I can act. Oh, raw. Now they've clocked that I can sing. So they're just like, oh, shit. And I loved it. I do very, very much love... I love singing, though I don't do it anymore. But I definitely also enjoy just the arts, period. It's actually very interesting because after I finished uni, even though to be fair, I didn't actually finish through a myriad of different reasons. I think
Yeah,
a
me too.
large part of that, hey, drop our gang. Nah, but you know what? A big part of it, honestly, was just for me. After I actually left uni, for a fair amount of time, I was kind of lost. I was kind of lost in the sense of I wasn't really too sure where I now kind of stood, because everything that I kind of thought to myself, you know what, that I actually did want to do, I hadn't actually kind of hit that. But then at the same time, it was then also a case of what were the things that I was actually good at naturally, you know. Goodman Malik, Goodman Demeji, Goodman Demeji obviously a lot later than Malik because obviously we've grown up together. So the whole thing of public speaking, the whole thing of being able to convey and portray myself in a certain way, the way I'm expressive, everybody and their uncle and auntie was telling me, get into acting. Funnily enough, the whole acting thing got me auditions for Attack the Block back in the day.
Wow.
That was actually what,
Big film at the time as well.
Yeah, word. You know what? The biggest thing that they said to me was that the portrayal was perfect. It's just that facially, I didn't look young enough. That was actually what they said to me.
Macroaggression.
Damn, that John Boyega. That guy took my shine. No, but that could have been me in Star Wars. Did you lightsaber, Shing, shing. I know them things there. What's happening? Bah! Force. I know them things there. But it was funny because now, in terms of what I do now, I'm a recruitment consultant and I specialize in financial services. And one of the funny things about that was because that particular opportunity, in terms of just getting into recruitment, period, was purely by chance. I was working at a Caribbean restaurant in Westfield, Rhythm Kitchen. One of my close...
Oh, that's where I know you from.
There you go. Small world. No, but so essentially the manager of that place, his older brother was actually a recruitment consultant. and he'd always seen how I was with customers on the tills and, you know, always upselling and so on and so forth. And he was just like, I think at that moment in time, he was looking to start his own recruitment business. And he was saying to his brother, who's my boy, like, listen, I'm going to take this kid out of here. I want him in my business. But through what dilly-dally and so on, so issues on his end, he couldn't quite make that happen. And then by chance, I actually ended up speaking to another guy purely by chance, just purely by being outgoing, being engaging, gifted a gab. And this guy was like, I'm actually a recruitment consultant and I may not be able to help you, but I know someone that can. Gave me the contact details of a rec to rec. So these are recruitment consultants that help people find jobs with other recruiting businesses. Went through that process and I started recruitment back in 2016 and I've been doing it ever since. I very, very much love it. I like that ability of being able to build a rapport with people. I like that ability of being able to ideally turn that no into a yes. And most importantly, I like money.
You know what? Can I just say, you mentioned chance, but I don't believe in chance. I believe that was meant to happen. Because like you said, that's something you're passionate about, you know, something you're good at. Like it didn't come your way by chance. I think it's something that you attracted along the way without even realizing.
You know what? That's actually a very valid thing, because for me, what comes to me naturally in terms of being able to speak to people and build those kind of relationships and ease stuff with people is something that some people find very hard to do.
Yeah, bro. Like I watch you and I listen to you. I wish I could speak the way you do. Like honestly, like it's very inspiring for me, but at the same time, it's very daunting because I'm like, I see where I'm at and I see where you're at, and bro, there's such a big gap. Like even back in uni, seeing you do presentations, you can go on, and there's me. Even I'll have a sheet of paper in front of me, and everything is just scattering in my brain.
No, that's fair.
You can flow confidently and eloquently as well. Like,
do you know what? I would say in that regard, I definitely owe that to my siblings, because they very, very much, from a young age, encouraged me to read. I used to read loads. Which is so interesting because you would think that someone that was reading loads was actually a good kid. And I was a terrible kid in school. Like anyone that knows me, like Malik is out here nodding seriously because he knows I was a bad G in school.
You know what's so nuts that I've actually realised about this whole thing is that you're the youngest sibling in your family, innit?
Yeah.
And everyone else in this room, well, except for you, is basically like the oldest. So it's nuts that you kind of like learn lessons from your elders, but you had so many older siblings to learn from. So it's like you come out more, not like say perfect, but you definitely picked up skills that you would have picked up from being with older people around. Whereas like, for example, me, I had to literally force myself in environments where I'm the youngest person. Yeah. Whereas you've always had that like environment.
I've always had that yeah, no, it's true. Cause like, and it's weird because it's like, I obviously, in general, for the most part, I've got quite a few older mates and I've got quite a few older friends. So a lot of things that my older siblings couldn't teach or show me is what I learned from them. So it's I guess it kind of goes to that whole thing of being book smart / street smart in its own way. I had my older siblings in my household, and I also had my older siblings in the terms of like my mates and my mates in the hood. Like as a result, if you kind of get where I'm coming from. And I'll tell you what, something else that I am very much enjoying, even though I know this is going to sound so wet, but definitely jumping on the podcast has been a thing for me. I won't lie. Because to be fair, everybody, like, I can't, yeah, Malik just put his hand up, like, so many of my close mates have been sticking it on me, like, Malik, in fact, even D to a degree, you're telling me you should jump on this kind of stuff, my ex, bare of my people jump on this podcasting, bro. You should jump on this speaking thing, bro. No, you should do this thing, bro. And I'm just bare like, I lie, man. It's all mad, bruv. But
no, I think it's good that you did jump on, because when I've had conversations with Goodman Malik about hosting the podcast, for example, first thing I said to him was, "It's got to be Daps every time, man." I said, "No one does what Daps does. Like, Daps has just got a natural aura." The first time I jumped on the podcast and you hosted that first one, I think I asked Goodman Malik after. I was like, "Okay, so like, how many years, Daps done before that?" He's like, "Daps just came I just did it once. There's no rehearsal for it. He's not practiced for it. Haven't given him a script or anything. So that's definitely like your bag.
Yeah, nah, definitely. And obviously I'm still definitely learning a bit more about it and stuff, but you know, it's good. I feel like for someone who can do it, I do it so much in terms of my job, in terms of, you know, speaking to individuals and so on and so forth. And it's quite interesting, right? Because even though in terms of what I reminisced about being as a kid didn't actually genuinely come out the way that I thought, things that I've innately had that I never really had to learn or train for is what is actually benefiting me now in terms of my career and in terms of how I'm potentially going to move forward. So when I have conversations, you know, at work and I'm speaking with clients and stuff and people that are difficult, or I'm dealing with, you know, with candidates, for example, and, you know, like I'm out here convincing them, or, you know, they've got interviews and the best advice, and, you know, I'm having, you know, meetings with Malik about, okay, you know what are the kind of topics, you know, ideally we want to discuss today. It's a nice, healthy change of pace to know that I'm not just purely doing it because it gives me money. I'm actually doing this genuinely because I enjoy this shit. I actually have a lot of fun doing this.
You're using your skill set.
Yeah, you're utilizing your skill, bro. This is your gift, man. You gotta run with it until the wheels fall off.
Keep tapping into it, boy.
Yeah, that's real. Like hopefully I'm going to be trying to do a bit more, obviously with insistence and encouragement and cussing out from Malik, because he's actually it's so funny because when it comes to a lot of these things in terms of, I think he said it to me last week, he's like, this one that you're doing all this recruitment stuff, man, we're trying to take it to Radio 1. I said, yo, chill.
Right.
Claim it, bro.
Speaking it into existence.
Exactly.
But it's definitely lit, man. I think it's like that saying goes, when you do something that you enjoy, it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah.
That's genuinely it. Like doing the pods, it never feels like a chore.
Yeah. On that note,
Yeah.
it's always like a question that I ask like my students in the school.
Yeah.
And then I ask my colleagues because it's more relevant to them. If you could leave your daytime job or career, whatever it is that you're doing now,
Yeah.
and do something else, what would it be? If there was no restrictions in terms of like,
Singing.
you'd go to be a
Singing.
nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if I had, thinking back now, if I was, in terms of the vocals training and stuff that I did back then, if I could absolutely really grab that opportunity full on, take it in, network and my problem has never been networking or speaking to people. So it's not like, you know, some people, they're a bit shy. That's not me. I'll come up to you and be like, yo, can we have a conversation? Absolutely. If not, yeah, it would have definitely, I think I would have definitely taken singing a lot more seriously.
Singing.
Yeah.
What about you, D? Assuming that you're not doing what you already love life.
You know what? I've always been fascinated with voiceover acting. I think that's probably something that's something I'm trying to get into now, but I think that's something I would definitely choose if I had a choice. But apart from that, I can't think of anything else.
You, T?
Probably just, I feel like everything I've put in work in 2020 will be for that in 2021, just to be acting, writing, acting in stuff that I've written, just full time on a big scale. So yeah, just next year I'll be like, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm doing what you said.
666.
Wait, hold on. That wasn't the question though, was it?
That's the only way I can answer it. So for me, it was a case of, all right, cool. I said, by the time I get into next year, I don't want to be able to have a conversation of, you see how you asked that question, if you could leave, what would you be doing?
Yeah.
I want to be living in what I want to be doing, if that makes sense. So that's how, so I can't answer it by saying, oh, I want to do this. I'm starting, I've already sort of said, yo, I'm going to be an actor. This is what I'm doing. All right, 2020, I'm creating my own opportunities as well as receiving other opportunities. Okay. So going into next year, 2021, it's like manifesting. I'm just a walking manifestation of everything that I put into place in 2020. So, okay, cool. See me on Netflix. Cool. You see me on, Amazon.
Prime.
You see me on billboards.
Mm-hmm.
God willing, we're not in this freaking pandemic. But do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I've used this year
I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be there. Oh my God, look at my breast. Look at my breast, Goodman T. Go and watch his video. Go and get your copy. Nah. One of them things there.
That's just been something ever from young. I've just never wanted someone to ask me a question and I'm like not trying to do that. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to do anything other than what I want to be doing.
I do hear that.
Some
though.
people call me difficult because I'm like that, but it's just, this is what I want to do.
It could be a case of being difficult, but it could just be a thing of just that genuine dedication to your craft and the fact
you know
that
what you
you
want.
absolutely believe that you know what, I can achieve this and I'm going to achieve this.
I don't think it's been difficult at all because
Yeah,
the
I don't think
question
that.
was when I asked that question. What I was thinking was, I know that most of us are doing what we want to do or what we'd like to be doing, but there are obviously situations in which people are doing what they like, but there might be something else that they would be happy to swap it with. Like,
Yeah.
but for you, clearly, what you're saying is actually I'm doing what it is that I love, what I want to do, and I'm not thinking of the mindset of changing or replacing it with anything else. And so for me, even though I love being an educator, I love being a teacher, I always tell people I never wanted to be a teacher or an educator. And I've already spoke about what it is that I did want to do, which was to be an actor. I think if I could leave my profession now to do something else, which doesn't negate the fact that it doesn't take away anything from what I'm doing now, but if there was something else I could do, acting, I said already, is one.
Yeah.
The other one would just to be a traveler, just to travel the world.
When you first said traveler, I said, huh?
Traveling.
Just to jump off the back of that, that's what it was, you know, creating these opportunities. For example, with acting, it allows you to, I guess, do all of these things that you've wanted to do. You could get a role and it's like, hey, so I did write a script, funnily enough, and said, all right, cool, I'm going to be rapping my ass off in the script. You're going to tell me I can't do this. But do you see what I mean? It's just creating.
Find a way to
it's-
get that.
Yeah, still, I guess, I will probably one day write a script on football. So I will live my dreams.
I will.
I like that.
My dreams.
I like that. I
That's
like
actually a
that.
sick way to get around it.
Yeah, word.
Because obviously you're using that tool to do that. But like I said, many of us are doing stuff that we enjoy doing, that we like to do. But there are
if
people
there
out
was
there
if there was
that
an
aren't doing
alternative,
jobs that they would like to do, and obviously if you ask them, you're gonna get an answer which is like completely different.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change what I'm doing straight away.
that's it.
But if I had the option to do something else, another career profession, I do have two easy answers, and one is either to be an actor, or to be a travel blogger. But the whole blogging part of it, I could easily erase that and just travel.
yeah.
Just travel. Whether I'm getting paid or not, but if I got the means to be able to travel the world, and that's the only thing I could do before I die with my family, like I'll do that.
That's lit.
Because I want to see every corner of the earth. Like that's like one of my massive goals. Like so.
That's lit. That's lit.
Sick.
That's sick. People,
lit.
it has been an absolute pleasure having you guys listen to us. Just basically just talk about A, our childhood dreams and what we've come to now. And B, just to hear us just chat shit, because you need that once in a while, you know, with a lot of the different things that's going on, obviously, in the world at the moment. It's so easy to sometimes get, you know, bogged down in, you know, a lot of the more, you know, serious and deeper issues. And it's important to just be able to just, you know, kind of get a bit lighthearted and just banter a lot and just be able to, you know, speak about things that we viewed at when we were young and naive and how it's kind of shaped us to, you know, into today, which is absolutely awesome. I don't know what you're doing over there, Millie, that you're just Millie rocking unprovoked. Like, there's not even any music. Like, what is wrong with you, bruv? But look, people, it's been a pleasure. Once again, guys, as a thank you to everyone, of course, that has been listening in, please use the discount code GPOD1 for a discount in regards to Goodman Factory products. And also, guys, if there are any questions that you have relating to any of the topics we've discussed on the show, or if, of course, you have any questions for us in terms of topics you would like us to discuss, please don't hesitate to use the hashtag #AskTheGoodman, and we will absolutely do what we can to be able to address those. And ideally, if, of course, we've got space, then, you know, we might invite you on to talk your talk with the Goodman.
Yeah, we'll put you on, man.
Put you on, baby. Put you on game. A pleasure, guys. Have a great one. Stay blessed. Goodman.
Peace out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm not. Big man thing. I'm out.